There are obviously many signs, right? There's many things that we could, pay attention to and look into when we're trying to assess compatibility with someone, and more importantly, when we're trying to assess whether or not that person has an interest in us specifically, and whether or not that interest aligns with our own interests, right? That they want what we want with each other specifically, right? Because there's also a whole bunch of levels to interest, right? A guy who's interested in getting to know you is not necessarily a guy who wants to be in a relationship with you. A guy who's interested in sleeping with you, again, does not necessarily mean that he wants to build a relationship with you. So our goal in dating is not just to find people who like us, right? Because so many people are like, yeah, but he did all this effort at the beginning. Yeah, he was trying to get to know you. Yeah, but he did all this effort in the beginning. He told me I'm beautiful. Yeah, maybe he was just trying to stay. But our goal in dating, right? And when I say our, I mean, it applies for both men and women, but our goal in dating as we're putting ourselves out there is to, through the dating process, right, make sure that, first of all, they have what we are looking for, right? Like that's the first step. In that order, we have to make sure that they have the things, that they have the values, that they have the beliefs, that they have, all of these things that we're looking for. And then whether or not also make sure that they want what we want with us specifically, right? That they like us, not just, physically, not just, but they want what we want with us specifically. That we both want that relationship, again, with each other. Not just in principle, not just, yeah, he's looking for this but he wants this with us. That's the whole idea of what the dating process is supposed to establish. We're supposed to establish attraction through the process of just like, getting to know one another and spending time around each other. And we're supposed to establish that compatibility factor. And again, make sure that we want the same things with each other. Right. And one of the biggest signs, and I talk about that a lot, on my channels, in my videos, in my coaching programs, right, based on situations that I often get asked from my clients, right. One of the biggest signs, one of the biggest things, and the clearest sign, really, that someone is not really interested, or at least not interested, because you could decipher that. And so many women get confused because they say that they see these, mixed signals. That someone who might be, I get that all the time. Like, he texts me all the time. He texts me, "Good morning, beautiful," and he says all of these nice things. And he, like calls me on the phone sometimes, and he wishes me a good day, or he asks me about this, or he asks me about that, and he texts me every night, and we text each other for hours, and we talk on the phone for hours, whatever that is, right? But they miss the really important sign. Right. And the most important sign, the most important and the biggest indicator that someone is either interested or not interested, it really comes down to one simple thing, and that's whether or not they want to, and not just want to in principle, but actually are putting in the effort and are making it happen. Right. This is a huge distinction that you need to make sure that you pay attention to. Not just whether or not he wants to or says that he wants to spend time with you. Oh, I wish I could, see you tonight, or I wish I could see you this weekend, or I'm really missing you. But actually making the effort and does whatever that needs to be done in order to spend time with you in person. I want you to understand, right? And hopefully just agree with me that, the biggest, goal you have when it comes to building a relationship is to build a real in-person physical, right? In the sense that you're spending time with each other in person physically, relationship, right? That's the whole idea. You're not there to find a pen pal. You're not there to find, a social media buddy. You're not there just, hopefully, you agree with me when I say that. You're not there just to find someone that you can share like, memes or videos that you like on social media, but you're there to have an in-person relationship with that person, right? You want to spend time with them. You want to go and do activities with them. You potentially want at some point to move in together physically. You maybe want to potentially at some point start a family with each other, again, physically. And you want to start by getting to know one another. And the only way to really do that, the only way to really get to know a person is to spend time with them in person. I want to be in the same room as you. I want to breathe the same air as you. I want to, as I'm talking about whatever it is that I'm talking about, I want to see your body language, because that speaks so loud. That speaks so much louder than any text message that you send me. I get to know how you feel about topics just based on how I look at your body language, based on what you project with your body language, right? And you do the same thing. That's the only way to really get to know one another. It becomes real, right? When I just have to like pick up my phone and do something like this is not me. This is like a version of myself that I'm trying to project. When I have the time to, think, if I can take 20 minutes or 20 hours or whatever amount of time to think, what's the best way that I can respond to this text message, in a way that's charming and funny and interesting and all of these things that I want to seem to be, right? This is not me you're talking to. This is not you I'm talking to. This is a version that we're trying to put forward. If I can ask a friend and be like, hey, what do you think about, should I tell her this or should I tell her? That's not me, right? That's, again, a version of me that I'm trying to portray, but that's not me. Right? In person is really the only way, right? You don't have the luxury of a buffer where you can say, you know what, let me think about how I'm going to respond to this message. I can see how you respond to this message just based on what your eyes are doing. Am I losing your eye contact? Are you starting to frown? Are you looking around? Are you looking me, in my eye? Do you get really excited and you can't hide your smile? Do you blush? All of these things mean so much. That's the only way to really get to know, another human being. And that's the only way to really build a healthy romantic relationship is by spending enough time in person with each other. So I want to just come down and say this. If the person, I don't care what he does. I don't care if he, says that you're beautiful every single morning. I don't care if he sends you a good night kiss through the text message every single night. I don't care if he wishes you a great day. I don't care about the long conversations and all these things that he shares about himself when on the phone or on a text message. I don't care if he even straight up tells you, I love you, or whatever it is. I don't care about any of these things, and nor should you, unless he's making plans with you to spend time with you in person at least, I would say, once a week. Right? If you're not spending time with each other at least once a week, especially at these early stages, where is this relationship even going? Once a week should be your very bare minimum of how much effort you would require someone. Because again, it really comes down to effort. It really comes down to effort. We put effort in things that actually matter to us. Texting someone good morning, texting someone good night takes 3 seconds of my time. Right? By taking you out on a date, planning an activity, it doesn't matter what it is, whether that's just like a walk to the park. I have to, I have to check the weather app. I have to, figure out an outfit. I have to take a shower. I have to shave. I have to make sure that my hair looks nice. I have to make sure that this looks nice and everything looks nice. You know what I mean? I have to put some, perfume on. I have to get in my car. I have to maybe drive, for 30 minutes. I have to look for parking. I have to meet you. I have to try to, stay funny and charming and positive and all of these things to try to impress you and try to get you to like me. Right? I got to drive home. All of these things, that's effort. You know what I mean? Texting you good morning, beautiful, takes 3 seconds of my time, requires 0 amount of effort. I can text that to 10 girls, at the exact same time. And just it absolutely does not require any effort. So focus on the things that actually matter. So if a guy is not trying to spend time with you, if a guy is not trying to meet you in person, again, there's a huge distinction because I hear it all the time. Yeah, but he's trying to, but he's so busy with work right now, but he's so busy with this one. I don't care. I don't care. Everything is a matter of priority. He can work less if he wants to. He can spend less time on the golf course if he wants to. He can spend less time with his friends. He can spend less time at the gym. He can spend less time whatever if this is important to him. If dating in general is important to him and if getting to know you is important to him, right? He doesn't know you yet to make sure that he chooses you. He shouldn't be choosing you at this point unless, like you're a few months in the dating process. But at the beginning, I don't want him to choose you, but I want him to prioritize dating. And I want him to prioritize getting to know you. Right? So if he's not even doing that, if he's not trying to get to know you through in-person interactions, he's not that interested. One last thing that I want to tell you, right? And hopefully that gives you a different kinds of perspective. I want to tell you that men in general are very territorial, right? So I'll tell you as a guy, if there's a woman that I'm interested in, right? I looked at a couple of pictures on your dating app profile. I spoke to you on the phone a couple of times. Maybe I texted you a couple of times. And I feel like, wow, she's funny. She's intelligent. She's, you know what I mean? Like she's attractive. All of these things that I'm looking for. I know for a fact that if I find and see all of these things in you, I know for a fact that there's like a lineup of other dudes that see the exact same things. And if I'm not trying to see you in person and I'm actually seeing you in person and going on physical dates with you, right? And trying to, impress you with my charms, with my good looks, with my sense of humor, all of these things in person, someone else, at least someone else is trying to do that while we are speaking, right? So if I'm not even trying to do that, then I'm not that interested. Again, I might be interested enough to carry on this conversation. And because a lot of women ask me like, yeah, but why do they do that? Why spend all this time texting us? There could be a million reasons. Right? I might not be interested in a relationship with you, but hey, and women and men do that equally. Sometimes it's nice to have the attention. Sometimes it's nice to have someone I can text you in the middle of the night. Someone, it's nice to sext someone and just like, share a couple of pictures and this and that while I'm bored at home. Sometimes it's nice to have someone that I can just be like, hey, good morning, beautiful. And, she replies with good morning, handsome, and have this, conversation. Just sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's validation. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's just, again, a backup option, whatever that is, right? But if they're doing all of that, but they're not asking you out on actual physical dates on at least on a weekly basis. And when I say asking you out on dates, not just like, hey, if you want to come over, just like, come hang out with me, watch some Netflix, like actually taking you out on physical dates. So going into the movies, going in to grab ice cream, going in for a walk in the park, on a hike, dinner, whatever that is, actually doing an activity with you outside, right? If they're not doing that, they're not that interested. Hopefully this video helps. I'm sorry if maybe that gives you a reality check, because I know for a fact that so many people, you know what I mean, are stuck holding on and waiting for something to happen that never does. So hopefully this video releases you from that waiting and just allows you to move on with your life and give your energy and your time and your space to someone who actually deserves it and actually wants what you want with you specifically. Have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video.